I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Would you please rise and say the pledge with us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody's here, I guess. I'm going to jump up front. I'll swear at you.
Won't be the first time. It won't be the last time, I'm sure.
Probably not.
Swear back. That's not what I hear.
Should I read it right? Well, you can probably raise your right hand there. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
The Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
And I have not knowingly violated any law related to my election or appointment,
that I have not knowingly violated any law related to my election or appointment,
or caused to be done by others.
or cause it to be done by others,
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. I don't know what fidelity is, but I'm going to do it. Okay. Thank you. It's hard to do without that.
So everybody is here, okay. There's no additions or deletions? Okay. We will move, is there a motion to approve the council meeting December 23rd, 2024 minutes and the work session January 8th, 2025?
So moved.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Reports. Councilwoman Colley.
Ooh, we're out of order. Usually wait and try to think as it moves that direction.
Nope, you're on the block.
I attended the Glen Rock Veterans Park meeting with the
Town Square.
Town Square group this last week and volunteered to be a part of their ongoing committee for finding funds. Well, that was a mistake, huh? So we've got lots of ideas. We're working on that, have a meeting coming up, and I was impressed with the people that showed up and had really good input. I thought I'm real impressed with the direction that we're going on that, and got a lot of good input from the public. A lot of people wanted to see the handout that I had with the scheme of things on it, so I think it's going in a very positive direction.
Okay. Councilwoman
Yes, sir.
None. Thought I was going to cough, sorry.
A new name.
Well, I was going to give you one, but
Did
you
you,
want to...
did you clear this with my husband so I can go
No.
home? Oh. All right. Our community did have a very beautiful, peaceful Christmas season. Many of our citizens displayed beautiful, creative Christmas lighting on their property. So much love was shared during the season for children, seniors, and veterans of our community to give them happy memories. A very special thanks to all the people involved in making this a special Christmas for Glen Rock, with special thanks to the wreaths across America that were brought to Glen Rock for the first time. I did see in our treasurer's report that a number of people from the community received some good checks from their participation in the Christmas shop. These people dedicate much time and thought not only in preparing items for sale, but also in operating the Christmas shop. a nice addition to our Christmas community. Even Wyoming weather was somewhat remarkable for December. And again, following up on what Judy said about the Veterans Memorial Park, the final plan was reviewed and is a very thoughtful park to honor the military service of people from our community, and will be a park that should make the people in our community very proud. They are hoping to have this memorial open by Labor Day of 2026. There is going to also be some beautiful art displayed in this thoughtful memorial. And on a final note, my thanks to the people of Glen Rock for voting for me to serve them with another 4-year term on the town council. So here I am, heading down the trail, going to the last roundup.
It's just enough, they just extended your sentence is all.
I like to think of it as the last roundup. It's more horsey.
Okay. Councilman Kincaid.
My apologies for not making that meeting. I didn't look up the next email, that we didn't have the right time for the memorial meeting, but I heard I missed a really great meeting, and I'm excited to see the final plan on that. And on just another note, I attended Vicki Whitaker's retirement party. She retired from the post office and from the school board after many, many years. And that was a good time. A lot of folks from the community went out to wish her well on Saturday night. So that's all I got.
Councilman Kincaid, I so appreciated that you have the wrong time. I thought I was the only person in town that had that specific problem.
Well, Margaret, if you would have seen me down there, I was riding around the square going, what's going on?
Been there, done that, more than once.
Councilman Delgar.
I really don't have a report other than I'm back. This is the third time.
Somewhere there.
This is the second and a half time, I guess, because I filled an unexpired term once and I ran once and I ran again. So here I am. Thank you. I know, right? It's because of you, Amy.
I know. God help you, God bless.
Okay. Tammy Treasurer.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Is that on? Can you hear me?
You're on.
I've just been working on usual like year-end reporting. I have some OSHA stuff for reporting workforce services, some New Year tasks. I'm still working with Graves. We're currently working on performance management, and we need to schedule the next work session. It looks like the 7th. No, the 3rd of February. We would normally, if we were going to stick to Mondays, it would be the 3rd or the 17th, but the 17th is a holiday. So will the 3rd work?
Fine with me. It's
For the work session, 5:30 the 3rd of February.
5.
5 o'clock.
See, Royce, what'd I tell you?
Okay. I'll get the invite out. That's all I have.
okay.
Welcome back, Russ.
Thank you.
Treasurer Kelly.
Evening, excuse me, evening, Mayor and Council. Welcome back, Russ.
Thank you, Kelly.
Extended term. Not a whole lot other than working on all the January tax stuff. So W-2s, 1099s, 1095s, all the numbers. Auditors will be here starting on January 27th.
Kelly, our treasurer, has just received a very prestigious board nomination. Would you please let the council know what that is? I'm so proud of you for getting this position from our town.
I received a phone call last week from our National Treasure Association. They had someone vacate their position and asked if I would fill the seat until the July convention. So I'm very honored.
Yep. Congratulations.
Thank you.
John, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I've been working on, we have a 2025 Consumer Confidence Report for our water system. We've also been working with the engineers on finalizing some of the issues that might come up with the 4th Street project that we've been working towards. As far as the rest of the crew down there. We've been still doing winter maintenance on some equipment and such, and working out at South Rec, trying to keep that cleaned up and get it finished. That's all I got. Thank you.
I was just out there. I took my dogs out there, and I saw the clearing around the trees and stuff. Boy, it looks nice.
Yeah, we're trying to clean it up, give you a little more walking path.
It really looks nice.
I'll tell them. Thank you.
Yeah, you can definitely tell from the interstate that there's a lot
Yeah.
of stuff cleared out down there.
Lyle, building inspector.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Welcome aboard, Russ.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've been working on the senior center. New ramp is pretty much boxed in. They're going to be doing electrical inspections on Wednesday. So that's coming along pretty good. Contractor renewals, a bit there, and been doing some planning. So I got an issue that'll come up here a little bit earlier, a little bit later, so we'll talk about it. Go from there. That's all I got.
Chivy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I've been working on the date night at the Square Summer Movie Series voting, and that's going well, so that will end next week. And then Theater Thursday movie voting will start the 27th. Yoga at the Square is going to be returning at the Square this summer, and also I'll be having a Minecraft Monday fort build for the kids there, and just working on the concert series, getting food trucks, and getting everything ready for summer.
Colder, Chief of Police.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Just an update. We did make an offer today to a new patrol officer. Should be starting the beginning of February, so we'll try and get him in February and get him sworn in. We are still accepting and seem to be receiving a pretty good amount of applications for our dispatch position that's going to be opening up, so that's pretty nice. We're working on that. And we are set tomorrow to begin delivering the snack baskets, which the council so generously provided funds for to our elderly individuals around town. So we're going to be giving out 43 baskets this year. So excited to be doing that. We're going to try and get that done over the next couple of days anyway. But
That's great.
it really depends on how much time Carrie has.
She's got a lot.
I wish that was true, but it's not. Also, I've just been reviewing the latest proposed legislation and keeping an eye on what's going on there, along with the other members of WASCOP across the state, the other chiefs and sheriffs. So preparing to head down and take a look at that and try and advocate for what's going to best serve our community anyway.
Are there any specific things that you're?
I think we're up to 75 so far as far as specific, but I think
How about major?
the ones that I'm keeping an eye on the most is the ones related to concealed carry at the schools, probably.
Are they addressing in any way the motorized bikes and?
I've not seen that come ahead, but I'm hoping that maybe we will see one before it's all said and done. As you know, they continue adding those, over the course of the next month. So just keeping an eye on that, trying to stay up to date along with the other chiefs and sheriffs. So
Wasn't there a bill on removing the gun-free school zones?
So that hasn't been proposed yet. However, I've been told that that is something that these senators
Heard some
who
information.
proposed that previously plan to try and do again.
As we, just to interject, we were at a Department of Education annual meeting down in Douglas, and the representatives were there. It got quite heated.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot topic, I think. Our members throughout the state, without speaking on behalf of too many others, but we're working in conjunction with the superintendents from across the state as well to come up with, where we think that should go and what we want to try and stand behind. So a lot of behind the scenes things going on, I guess. But
Okay. Any other questions for Colder? Most of us will be gone next week for the end of the week down at WHAM for the Winter WHAM convention and stuff. So hopefully we get some new ideas of things to do. So if no other reports, I don't see anybody here from the fire department to give a report tonight. Okay. We'll move on to items from the floor then. Is there any items from the floor this evening?
Andy's going to hand out some new drafts.
Thanks, Candy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Latest and the greatest.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mayor and council members, thank you so much for seeing us again. I'm sure we'll be back several times this year. In the handout is the most updated design from Bott Monument, and these were the changes after our last committee meeting. It shows that the new quotes on the front and back of the center monument, adding the natural gas fire around the base. We will have the changes on the boy and girl to have more Western attire, and then the little girl will have cowboy boots with the Steamboat Willie logo on it. On the third page is kind of a overhead view, and I think this is kind of the best graphic that we've had so far of kind of what that area will look like on Birch Street and 3rd. And so as you go through the pamphlet here, we changed the welcome stone to have the battlefield cross in it, and I think that is going to be absolutely stunning to have the bronze medallions honoring each service, and then having the battle cross that you can see through the park. So that will be, the granite will be separated by stainless steel, and it'll have the bronze and stainless steel battle cross in the center.
For those of us in the audience that don't know what you're talking about, will you just explain what's the project that you're working on? We were just asking
Oh,
the
the-
project that you're working on.
We're working on a Veterans Memorial Park on the corner of Birch and 3rd, and we're members of Glen Rock Main Street. I'm sorry, I thought been here. So why we came this evening is it's determined the pad will be 98 by 98. There's approximately 200,000 pounds of granite that will be set, the largest one being the centerpiece at 40,000 pounds. The engineering will be done by York Engineering, and if we can skip to the section number 2, we just wanted to make sure that the town's responsibilities, we were okay with moving forward with that we could do all the line locates and utilities prior to excavation. There was talk about the bathrooms, that would be outside of the scope of Bott Memorial. The 12 by 12 foot section around the north and east sides would be on the responsible of the town, and Glen Rock Main Street. The town would be responsible for running the water, gas, and electricity. And then we would be responsible for the security at night while the construction was being done, and then any lighting and security for the installation, and any building permits that the town would need, that we could have those pulled. If that would be something that we could do.
Yeah, more than likely, since it's going to be the memorial, normally something like that, like school district and other things, usually there's a permit, but we usually do not set a fee on it. It's just, so it's things that need inspected are inspected, but there wouldn't be a fee for Main Street to pay to the town.
Okay. Then the next thing is, in order to have the bronze completed by Labor Day of 2026, we will need a $500,000 down payment by March 1st. That happens before our opportunity to have our fundraiser in April, so we were wondering if the town could front that.
We spoke about this on the phone the other evening. If the town is going to do this, it would have to be a budget amendment, and that's up to the council, us as a group, to vote on and decide if we want to put that, because it would have to be a budget amendment to take care of it so they could get started.
I move that we make a budget adjustment to grant this project this money for the down payment so they can be started by March 1st, 2025.
There is a motion.
Thank
Is
you.
there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
This is a really great project. We should be so proud of the work that these people have stepped up to do to bring this project to the community. Thank you.
I agree. A question I'm sorry, Judy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and on top of this, they're well into fundraising on their own, so this is kind of like just
It's our hopes
fronting.
to raise in excess of $500,000 just through Main Street, through having miniature bronzes made. We're having a fundraiser in April, and we'll be selling blocks where non-veterans from Glen Rock families have an opportunity to buy a brick to honor their loved one that was in the military. So we have several ways that we are going to fundraise, but we have not been able to do so yet because we hadn't pinned down a design to go out and ask for money. So in order to kind of kick it off, we've got to have the down payment, and then we'll get artist renditions that we can have advertising around town. We have the funding currently to put a large sign up with a picture of the bronze and with a thermometer with our fundraising status, and we'll put that on the site to start advertising it. And then we have an appointment on the 24th with the newspaper to start getting this out in the community.
And by having this down payment available to you, that will make your barometer with your funding on it look very impressive, that you've got to have a good start and show that the town of Glen Rock is really behind this project and get you a nice kick start on a funding project.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
And I talked to Jeannie about this a couple days ago, and actually they need this down payment so that granite can start to be cut.
Granite can be cut, and they can start casting.
Yeah, casting the
Yes.
bronze.
Mm-hmm. And we do have the money to purchase the 3 to 4 miniature bronzes, so we could have those in approximately 90 days. It's our hope to have those by our fundraiser, so those could be auctioned off. And then people can see around town also what that looks like, and we can have one here at Town Hall.
Because I'm new to this, if the total's 1.5, we're talking about putting the 0.5 in, and you're going to raise $1 million. Is that what the goal is, or is there other funding that I don't know about?
They're going to raise funding and go ask the commissioners for money also to go towards this, and through their fundraising and that. And then for the next fiscal year, there'll be other stuff that the town will have to do down there. So there may be other monies given to this through allocations. But that's their plan, is to be able to raise that money. So this is done by the fall of 26.
It'll be impressive if you can raise that much, but I'm fully behind this.
We have a good community of caring
I think
people, I don't have a doubt.
I think it's going to take a lot of work, but I was impressed with how much the Main Street had in place and how they're more than dreaming of it. They've got a plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they can accomplish it. It's going to be a lot of work, Russ, you're right. But I think there are a lot of people willing to.
It'd be very nice if it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are also going to reach out to some of the major employers around the area, Rocky Mountain Power, One Oak, True Companies.
The gas station.
Yeah, the gas station. They'll be making a donation.
I think it's exciting, and we'll try and do everything we can do, and even in fundraising and helping you guys. So
Thank you. We're really looking forward to our fundraising event, and we have two spin-off committees. We have a fundraising committee and a, help me with the word, Judy.
Oh, the ad hoc,
For the grand open, for the unveiling.
Dedication,
Yes,
site
yes,
dedication.
that-
So,
an ad hoc event presentation committee or whatever, yeah.
yeah, so we can work on having federal, state representatives
start
at our
inviting
dedication.
People
But we're
like
ready
the
to open up.
president to
Yes.
unveiling.
Yeah.
Hey, start at the top and work your way down.
Work your way down.
I have
Okay,
nothing
is there any other discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. You guys are just going to need, we'll have to do a resolution to do this, so that will probably happen at the next council meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then we just need to know what account they make that out to Main Street or whatever, or the check would be made out, and we go from there.
Thank you all
Give
so
that
much.
information to Kelly, but
Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it.
No, it's all right.
okay. Hurry, Hummer.
Hummer said go before me because this is going to take a long time.
Goodness.
Well, I'm back as the president of the golf club, and I just wanted to update the council on and thank them first for the monies that they gave us for purchasing of equipment, and give them an update on the equipment that we've actually got coming or are going to be able to get here in the near future. So Bruce and I, we talked a while back about sprinkler boxes, and we were able to find a company that we can pull the old sprinkler box out and put the new one in, and we can actually have digital displays now where we can see how to program what we need to program. And Bruce was right about the price of them.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No, but we were able to get 3 of them and 1 free. So we spent about $28,000 on new sprinkler boxes. And as far as the installation goes on that, I'm going to be ramrodding that, and it's not much of it's more of a just unwire the old one and wire the new one in. We also purchased, we're in the process of purchasing an aerator. So the aerator is something that we use on the greens, and we're going to be using on the fairways and stuff, but the aerator that we've used for the past, I don't know how long, we borrowed it from Paradise Valley, and they have let us use that, and we have hoped and prayed that we never break it because it is a very expensive item. It's about a $30,000 unit, but it will do the job that we need to do for our greens and our fairways. To update our course, we're also looking to try to get like what Paradise Valley and Three Crowns do, where they actually roll their greens to make them a little bit more golfer-friendly, user-friendly. I don't like them, but a lot of golfers do, but it will help with the maintenance on the greens, and that came in around $13,000.
Are you going to injure any of the snakes doing that?
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Absolutely. I don't know if you ever saw our fairway sprayer that we had, which was tied onto the back of the old John Deere thing, and it sprayed about that wide. So we were able to come up with a fairway sprayer for about $6,000, and because we had no way to move anything around, we bought Joe Perkle's old pickup. We just need something to run around to haul things, trailers, go get equipment and stuff like that. We were able to get that from Joe for about $4,000. We also went to Lander Golf Course and put some bids on some of the equipment that they were moving out of their inventory, and come to find out, we were the high bidder. Wow. So we got a tractor with the backhoe on it for about $1,200, a Fairway motor for about $2,000, and a used gang mower for about $2,000. So in total, all of that up, we've spent about almost $88,000 with the equipment that we're going to be purchasing. We're still looking at a tractor to help us out, and we got a good line on that tractor. So just wanted to give the council an update that we are moving forward with the monies that you provided for us to get equipment, and we're working hard on getting the old golf course ready, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody's got anything. Hummer is waiting, remember.
Anything on the clubhouse?
Yeah, I knew I was going to get that question.
Had to ask.
Well, I know. We've run into a hiccup, and I tried to contact some people today, and there was supposed to be a phone call given to me before I came here at 5 o'clock, and I didn't get the phone call. The plans are finalized. As far as I know, they just need a seal of approval and then taken to the state for a seal of approval, and then construction can start, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And the contractor feels pretty confident that he can have it all done by May 1st. But basically, to be honest with you, through ignorance of myself and a few other people on doing this, we didn't realize that we had to have this extra permitting that was involved in it because of the monies that we received for it. And it was like, wow. Okay, so we contacted an engineer, and he was going to help us out with that. I thought, good old buddy, good old pal, and we gave him the plans, and he goes, oh yeah, I'll do that. And we called him up the next week. He goes, well, I'm elk hunting. And okay, we called him up the next week. Well, I got to take it to my other people. And we called him up the next week. He goes, yeah, we got it. We only need $90,000 for the plans. Wasn't quite in our budget. So we lost a month right there waiting on the engineer that we thought was going to do this for us. And so through a series of circumstances, the plans that were supposed to be finalized the 1st of January, well, the guy that was finalizing the plans had a stroke. So it just has been one little episode after the next one that we just have shortfalls with getting the construction going. But hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we can get everything finalized, get with Lyle, make sure everything's kosher, and then move forward from there.
Hopefully you can get it through the fire marshal's office.
That's where we're going. Sheridan, once it gets finalized, he's going to personally take it to the fire marshal in Sheridan and get it going. So thanks for answering that question.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at. Any other questions? Oh, I can make training. Perfect.
Yeah, keep going.
Mayor and Council, I'm Hummer Wickett, and I wanted to come down and talk about building permits on the lots we have on Platt Street. A little bit of quick history on that. When this project, it used to be a trailer court, and when they were updating the sewer, water, streets on the north side, we knew we didn't want to put 13 or 14 taps to the existing stuff because the problem was getting it from the front to the back because the old stuff was in the back and the newest stuff would come in from the front. So we talked to some realtors, and they suggested it would be easier to sell trailer lots. So we had it subdivided and platted for 10 trailer lots, 55 feet wide. They're 175 foot deep. That was approved and everything was hunky-dory. we started cleaning up the old mess. Would you pass this to you in the front now? We started cleaning up the old mess. We had about 70 or 80 loads of trash we had to haul to the dump. We said we didn't want to mess with that again, so we were going to change from trailers to only built houses. They can be modular, but not trailer houses. So we approached the council, or the planning board first, went before the planning board, and of course the council, went through the 3 hearings, and when we addressed each one, we said we would be selling 2 55-foot lots that's 110 foot wide, and then it would be one house situated on it, and that's the way we would sell them. This subsequently went fine. We did recently, we've sold 3 sets of the lots. Chad Beer bought 2. He had houses coming, and we thought it was construction ready. He came to the town to get building permits, and he said no, it has to be replatted to join 2 lots into one, restaked before they would issue permits. Which he went through all of this. It cost him about $3,500 for the pair of lots. Penny McCormick bought the other set of lots, approached the town, the same thing. They said she had to rezone it. Well, we got, when I talked to Lyle about it, he sent me this as justification that the lots had to be, they could not put one house on 2 lots. Primarily because of the front page, the highlighted development standards. It says the minimum setbacks from property lines, side yard is 7.5 feet, or equaling 15 feet between structures. That's why we went to the 110-foot wide lots. The town is trying to say that because there is a lot line in the center, that also has to have setbacks from it. We are contesting that contention on that they are confusing lot line and property line. If you look on the back page of the handout, there's a highlighted one that I added that's from your ordinance, just earlier in the ordinance, that property line is defined as the boundary line designating the limits of ownership. So therefore, the center lot line in the center has no meaning. Your setbacks are coming from the sides. That's what we're basing it on. Our contention is we'd like to have the council direct the town to do this. Lyle said they've had discussions today. He talked to me this afternoon, and he thinks he has a proposal lined up. But no matter what this proposal is, I think he's going to be specific to these 3 lots that are left, as opposed, you've got the same problem elsewhere in town. Sun Up Ridge is a prime example. You've got lots all over up there. People own adjoining lots, and they have the same potential problem for future.
Well, yeah, and we've also, people have gone to build there because of planning and zoning. If they have lots that touch and they've got a house on one, they cannot go build a garage on the other one because code says it has to have a house first before another out structure can be built.
Okay.
And they have to meet the setbacks and the guidelines.
Yeah, I can see that.
So can I'll jump in here if you don't mind.
No, I'm ready for you.
So in July 2019 is when they started this. Hummer, they went through the planning commission. They took the 10 lots and they rezoned it to R1. R1. At the time, I think he was told that they said we're going to take these 10 lots and go to 5 lots. Okay, and the planning commission apparently said, yeah, that's good. We can do that. Well, so he's thinking he's got no issues. I talked to Dustin Alford just to get his recollection of that. So he remembers that they did talk about going from 10 to 5 and making it R1. And according to Dustin, he thought that they had completed a replat. They were going to vacate it, replat it. So I think there was I talked to Jared Farringer as well, CEPI, and Jared may have been at the meeting. Not for sure if he was at that meeting or not.
I remember that meeting, and I don't remember if Jared was there, but I do remember about the going from 10 to 5.
Okay, so
Planning Commission.
What I think happened is I think he walked away from this meeting thinking that, hey, it's
Right.
done. It's a done deal. You can do it. It's not a problem. So that's a lapse on us that we didn't explain that process fully, and I think the process is supposed to be that we're going to vacate them 10 lots and make them into 2, and then we're going to come back to the county and give them a new plat. And
Into 2 or into?
Into 5.
Five.
The 2 would go into 1.
Okay, but there'll be a total of 5.
A total of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little confusing, but, so that would go back to the county, and now you've got a record that shows that that's 1 lot, and you got a house built, and that's the way it really should be.
Right.
But, I believe that there wasn't that communication. I don't think that was right. So,
So who,
I don't know
what-
where-
whose responsibility is that to do that? Who does that? Who physically makes that happen?
I think.
To replat or straighten it out, it's the developer.
But I think that in that meeting,
But-
that you walked away from with the planning commission.
Thinking that planning and zoning was going to do
Laid
it.
out,
To them.
this is what's going to happen.
I'm not sure if maybe
Did it?
hand it over to Jared or not. I'm not sure.
But the problem was, when that came to council back then,
It was just,
that was never stated it was going to be switched to 5 lots. All we voted on at that time was changing it from mobile home to R1. That's all we voted
Bruce,
on.
I think if you go back and check the minutes, you'll find that's different, because I did not attend all 3 hearings. I attended the first one, and I said that our plan was to take 2 lots, combine them into 1, and make 5 total, and that was approved on all 3 readings.
Well,
I wasn't aware
I
we
don't-
had to
I-
submit
we'll
the
have to-
paperwork.
With the and the plat was
So in reality.
10.
There, you can see there's a miscommunication.
Mhm.
What should have happened? So, in my thoughts, my recommendation is, you can do 2 things. You can make them do a vacate, replat, and we stick with that, and maybe they contest that, and it goes down the line, and we have more problems there. I think that you've got a good, you could rationalize that we make this an exception and say, listen, let them build across the 2 lots. We have done that across the town in the past many times. I could probably bring you at least a dozen lots that's happened.
When,
Best practice should be that you don't do that.
right.
So going forward, you make it happen that it's a vacate and a replat. But it really wouldn't cause us any problems. We take, a house goes onto those 2 lots. When it does that, we assign that house an address, and that address has 2 lots. That is what we have in many places.
We do.
It's just not the best practice.
when Chad came, was a few months ago.
Yeah, a few months
And
ago.
did that.
Yeah.
It was my understanding that that was his understanding of what was going to,
He wasn't, and
Happen.
the truth is, he didn't protest. He's like, okay, that's what should happen, that's what the city
Yep.
wants, and he did it.
Right.
And now we're, knowing what I know now, with what Hummer was told,
Mhm.
you can tell there was a miscommunication.
right.
So,
Mr. Chairman? Hi, Bruce. I would like to move to keep the lots on Mr. Wickett's property as 5 lots rather than 10 as originally planned, and to allow a house to be built on each of these 5 lots to resolve this issue and move forward.
Well, I was going to say something before a motion was made, because I have to ask for a motion to be made. But maybe we can talk about this at the next workshop, and I would like to get, I know that all your platting was done by money.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we can talk to our, if we're going to, we got to do something. It's something that happened in the past, things that we're trying to stick with what goes on, but a replat and a redraw of it, they'll have to move some stakes, but let me talk to our civil engine, our engineering firm, and see if they'll do it for the town, and we'll foot the bill to redo it, because I think we can get it done cheaper.
I know all of the corners are staked at the
Yeah, they're
present
there.
time.
It just they just have to make sure they're there, that the ones, and show which ones are going to be removed.
Yes, they'd have
And
to.
then we get a properly made plat that shows that Hummer.
Well,
So,
the only one that is not there was the southwest corner of the very last lot on 6th Street.
sure.
And that was because it was dug out with the sewer lines. In fact, I found 2 or 3 of them were dug out and we replaced them. I wasn't aware of that and it wasn't there.
Sure. But can we discuss this at the next workshop so we can get a little bit more, and I can talk to CEPI and see if we can't, we got to do something for you. It was very much miscommunication, but we can also, instead of paying Aaron money, the process he wants for the cost, I'm sure I can talk to our engineers and get a cost that we can get the plat made properly, because that's what we need to move forward that way. But I'm not trying to push that price off onto you or Penny. So maybe I'll talk to CEP.
I have no problem with
and
waiting.
we can see what we can get done about making a true and correct plat for it.
Our plan always was just to have them ready so if someone bought them, they could start building immediately without having to go through all the rigmarole. And the time is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about $2,500 to redoing an individual one. But
Yeah, 25 to 3,000. Eric.
I have no problem with waiting for 2 weeks. That's fine.
Because we're going to have our meeting on the 3rd of February. I can do that. I can also talk to the engineers at that time and see what we come up with about making that plat correct and refile it.
Okay.
And be done with it, and then we resolve, and then there's no more problem.
Then we're not.
Then we're down the road.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we can't keep doing something that's against what we're supposed to do. So
to be clear.
Yeah, so
town's
it'll
gonna
be clear
take
from here on out.
responsibility.
You might consult your attorney, though, on the discrepancy between lot line and property line, because the ordinance says 7.5 foot from the property line, not.
That's setbacks.
Yeah.
But
But you're trying to do
right
that-
now with your 10 lots, you still have 6 of them left.
Yeah.
Each lot still is pinned out in 4 corners for that lot. And the building inside of that by ordinance says you can't encroach.
I couldn't
closer
find
than
that in
7.5.
ordinance, and
It's in our planning and zoning on setbacks. So that's still a true property line. It's just like somebody owning 2 different lots in Rolling Hill or in Sunup Ridge. They have a house on one. They come to the town and want to build a big shop on the next one. No, you can't build one until there's another house there, because that's you can't build a shop ahead of it. But so we're trying to make that right. But I want to make it right for you guys.
Okay.
So we can discuss that, and I'll get with the engineers, and we can get because we've signed 2 or 3 plats on that now. And so let us do that, and
Okay.
and if you guys want to come to that on the 3rd, I'll have some answers for you by then,
hey, thank you for working on it.
and then we'll move forward with that, so we're not holding things up.
It's
Thank
the
you.
Mr.
7th.
Mayor,
Yes.
Meeting is
I would withdraw that motion on the understanding that this will be resolved
That's-
quickly and without
I think
additional cost to the Wickets.
we'll get it resolved. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do.
Okay?
So that's all we
Got a
can
deal.
do. Okay? But
February 3rd.
Okay, pretend I didn't.
Okay. It's the 3rd, not the 7th.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Seems like you guys have had quite a few items from the floor tonight, so I'll
That's
keep
okay.
them really short. We have partnered with the library this year for Love Local, and we would like to know if we can close Elk Street from 4th to the alley on the Friday and Saturday and Sunday, so that the police car and the fire truck can be set up for the kids to go through.
is that to the east of 4th
Yes.
or west? I'm going to say over by so it's going to be east.
Directly
it's right next
between-
to the, right,
yeah.
right,
That's
between
the
that and
library.
the
Between
rec
the
center.
rec center and the.
Yeah.
That's this coming weekend, or when is this to be?
31st of January and 1st and 2nd of February.
So it's a few weeks out.
Okay.
That's a city street. We don't have to get permission from the DOT, so if the council doesn't have any objection to that, I'd say you can do it. I see no reason.
I think
And the police
Fine.
department.
It would probably be easier if
Obviously
you,
doesn't have an issue.
probably be easier
You'll
if you
be
just
there.
close it from, through traffic from 4th down to 3rd, let the property owners in and out on that one corner, but instead of somebody getting halfway up there trying to figure out how to get back down the street, but yeah, I see no
This is a
problem.
safety issue. We should definitely do this.
It'll work out fine. I'm sure Calder can take care of that.
Seems like Public Works to me.
Tell him no, John.
I don't know, traffic controls your bailiwick.
Okay?
Or maybe Chevy can take care of it.
There we go.
Any other items from the floor this evening? Come on, Bob, get up. You got to say something. Paul? Okay. So we're going to move on. There's no old business. Under new business, we have a tree grant from Steve. Is it Crewman? Okay. I got to get to it. I'll let you read it, Lyle, so it's where he's at and what he's wanting to do and what's happened to that.
So this was 218 California Trail. This one's removed 2 dead trees, several others, dead branches, get them all trimmed up. He's got good pictures here. We got a bid from Freebies for $5,000, and so this one slipped through the cracks. This permit was in my office quite a while back.
How did it slip through the crack? Which crack was that?
Yeah, it was one of mine, I guess, but I didn't know it until he came back to me. And I thought it had been approved. I put it in the approved file. So we just need to approve it, and he's got it done already. So.
And we pay up to $1,000, correct now?
Up to 1,000?
I think it's up to 1,000. It was 500, but we changed that.
Mm-hmm.
I move we approve this tree grant and pay the $1,000 that is applicable.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Our next order of business is resolution number 2025-1, a resolution providing for the appropriation of unappropriated surplus funds, whereas it appears that it is necessary for the budget of the town of Glen Rock to be amended for the fiscal year July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025, taking into account retained unappropriated surplus funds. It is therefore hereby resolved by the governing body of the town of Glen Rock, Wyoming as follows. Section 1, general fund increased by a sum of $929,051.70. Water fund increased by $689,833.70. Sewer increased $624,833.70. Sanitary fund increased for the sum of $30,340. The sources of income will be unappropriated surplus funds, that is due to surplus funds from ARPA/SLIB, land sales, and an increase of 1% and 4% sales tax. Shows the expenses and revenues passed and approved and adopted the 13th day of January 2025. Is there a motion?
I move that we pass resolution 2025-1.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on it?
How did it end up .70 on all 3 of those?
I don't know. Talk to the treasurer.
Round it up.
More money, how exciting.
Well, it looks like
She's trying to be as honest as she can be.
got shorted 70 cents here.
Yeah, so if there's no, no, it's fine. If there's no other discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is Resolution 2025-2, a resolution approving the award of bid for the Glen Rock RV Dump and Fill Station Project, whereas the town of Glen Rock has approved the Glen Rock RV Dump and Fill Station Project, whereas request for bids for the Glen Rock RV Dump and Fill Station was published November 13th, 2024 and November 20th, 2024, and whereas a mandatory pre-bid meeting was held on December 4th, 2024 at Glen Rock Town Hall, whereas 4 bids were received and opened by Ray Catalier, engineer, on the Wednesday, December 18th, and were shown as in the attached table. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Glen Rock awards the bid as follows to Crown Construction, alternative number 2 for $409,410. Passed and approved and adopted for the 13th day of January 2025. Is there a motion?
13th day, sir. I move that we approve this resolution 2025-2.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion?
I think this is a good project.
It's money that's coming out of unmitigated impact funds from Cedar Springs 4. So it's monies that we will collect. We'll have to put it in our monies and pay for it, but then Kelly will recover it as those funds come in
And
from
that was
them.
from last year.
Yeah, the first Cedar Springs. It's for we're getting paid on Cedar Springs 4 now, but that's where the money for it's coming from.
With these potential, I guess, or not potential, these construction projects coming into our community, I think this could be a really nice thing to have available for people to be able to dump garbage.
Just so everybody knows where it's going to be. It's going to be out between Metal Arc Lane and the other turnoff into the industrial park on what we own of the railroad right away. We'll put a road across through there. We'll bring water sewer up there. The station will be built there so they can come in on one road and pull in on either side of it.
Is it taking the place of this water?
Yes.
Or this one's still going to be here?
We'll decide what we're going to
But
do
this
with
is
that
going
one.
to be much more accessible.
Yeah, it'll be out there. It'll be way easier to get into and out of. This one down here is a nightmare. It's bad enough for small vehicles and trailers, let alone big trucks pulling in. We spend a lot of time with a hydrant meter on some place, which is not great during when we get into that cold weather. And it's just so we felt that this was something that fell under impact funds, so that's why we asked for the money. So if there's no other discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by nay. Motion carries. I believe our last order of business is bills and claims.
What-
Is there a motion?
I move that we pay our bills and claims.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on bills and claims? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. If there's nothing else to come before the business,
Can I bring up one thing before?
that's why I was saying what I was saying. Is there something else you want to talk about? Okay.
We talked about it in our last meeting, last council meeting and our workshop. I'd like to get something for the school, answer if we can help the culinary team. We were going to talk about it tonight.
Mhm. Correct, we did not add that to the agenda, but we can talk about it. So, what's everybody's opinion?
I think this is an extremely good project, but I also think there's a lot of other extremely good projects at the school, and I fail to see why the school is not financially doing more to help these people. They're bringing a lot of glory and goodness back to the school. And I'm wondering if we need to have a standard policy of how these requests are handled, because I'm sure we will be having others coming before us with a similar worthy request to help kids.
Normally, we fund this out of mayor and council line item. We have something else to talk about on that here pretty quick too, but they are sending double the number of kids this year, so it turned out to be quite a bit. So,
Well,
if
they
anybody
have some info on that. They've discussed that. That won't happen again. So we'll be sending 9 kids every year. But they had a lot of good little cooks this year, so they were going to go for that. But it's a lot of money they're trying to raise. So I'm hoping we can still help them out.
Has the school made any indication that they're going to?
They're going to help too.
That they're going to
There's some
help
other things
them?
they're doing. You ought to see they're putting on dinners and cooking for.
Oh, I know they're really getting out there and hustling, but from the school itself, they are going to offer these kids
I
some
don't know
financial
what
help.
the price is on that, Margaret, but I know that it was discussed.
So what is the ask?
They didn't. They just requested help. I know we gave them, I think, $4,500 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So, somebody want to make a motion? What do you want to do?
You guys don't.
Go ahead.
Okay. I would say that through the what's that?
Mayor and council's budget.
Budget funding, we could offer them 3,000.
That's fine with me.
Is that a motion?
If that's,
I'm trying to get a feel before I actually make it a motion. But yes, I would make a motion that we give $3,000 in funding.
any other opinion?
I think we should give them 4. That's what we always give them.
Have a motion.
Yeah.
Need a second.
Yeah.
And then we can discuss it more. So I'll second Judy's motion
So we
for
can discuss.
$3,000, so we can discuss it.
So we can discuss. So there's apparently opinions here to raise that to 4,000. That's.
I mean, we just gave up $500,000 to our town, which is, I think, is a great thing. So I don't think we should bicker over this too much.
Let's just make it $4,000, amend your motion, get it done, and be happy.
Can I ask historically what we've done for him?
Normally, we've funded as much as we could last year. I think we did 45. I can't remember what we did the
I
year
don't think
before.
it's been every year. I think maybe the last 2 years.
At least 2 years we have.
Yeah, we've only done.
I don't see why we would back down from what we've done for the last 2 years, myself.
Yeah. And there's money in the budget for that, so if you want to stick at 3, or if you'd like to change your motion, we can accept that. Did you feel that? I twisted it just a little bit.
I still have some issues just with the way it was handled. And this is mostly like with the school, just.
Yeah, I don't think it should be put on.
But perhaps that discussion should not affect the kids.
Right.
So
It was,
I'll amend my motion to 4,500.
Okay.
And
Who seconded?
I seconded, and I'm okay with 4,500.
Okay. We've amended it to $4,500 to go to the culinary team to go to nationals. If there's no more discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay.
Thanks,
We
Steve.
brought that up. The other thing is we need to discuss, did you look last year what we paid out for the school banners for the kids?
I haven't looked, I can't let you know.
I found out some info today.
Okay.
So there are 54 kids,
Mhm.
and
That's close to what last year's was.
yeah, it was real close to that. It's 51 kids. I did find that out for you, and 307 graphics, and Douglas did the work. And I believe it wasn't a ton of money.
No, it was very, very reasonable. It
Yeah,
wasn't
they
much
couldn't
more.
believe it, and they got. We thought we'd have to wait on them for.
No, they
long
get
time.
right. They get right on them.
But they got them in 8 days.
Mhm.
Once the kids
Got their pictures.
got their graduation picture, and they put it on a drive, and they set it down there, and they had their graduation banners in 8 days. So I did find out the number of kids today.
So is that, Roy, is that number of kids just the ones that physically attend the school, or does that include homeschool kids as well in our community?
It's just senior graduation. I believe it's homeschool too.
Is it homeschool
I think
too?
so, yeah. I'm
It
not
should be.
100%. It is.
It should be. I just want to make sure it is.
Yeah.
So, because we didn't really vote on it last time, it was kind of discussed about, because we couldn't remember what we paid. I just know it's not a large amount of money, but I think it's less than what we're giving the culinary.
Oh, no, it's like, somebody told me today, because I don't want to be quoted on this, was like $1,500 or $2,000.
It's pretty minimal. The 307's done a great job of doing that for them, and I mean, they're two-sided. There's two kids on each one of them, and town crew hangs them up on the
it's
on
kind
the
of a cool
banner
deal when
piece
they do
down
it.
through town.
Yeah.
Yeah, we take them down, we give them back to them.
So the other information today was, this is not a school, this is not a school deal. You know, they do the graduation pictures and all this. They usually in the past put this on the
They
parents.
either raise funds or the parents pay
Yeah,
for.
and,
They help pay for them to have them put up, and we put them up. And we just last year was the second year we offered to pay for them, so it wasn't coming out
kind
of
of a
those
thing
kids'
back.
pockets.
What,
We could sell them back to the kids
So-
and take that money and give it to the,
two parents take over the program, and they're responsible. The school doesn't do, they get with the students, seniors.
That's usually
get their
somebody new
picture.
every year, yeah.
And,
I move-
they'll communicate with 307.
I move we financially support this project of the school banners for the seniors.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Because we need to get on that. So there's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Let's do it.
No discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Thanks, Bruce, for bringing that up.
I just, when you said that one, I forgot about both of them, so I'm glad you brought it up. So is there anything else to come before this meeting this evening? I'm amazed with everything's gone on. We've barely been an hour.
Ain't bad.
I'm not done.
Is this the meeting where you have to choose people to vote on different committees?
Well,
Or are there terms already set to where you don't have to do that tonight?
we don't have to. The only one I was going to do, and I can do it this evening, is my appointment for Mayor Pro Tem, and John was my Mayor Pro Tem, and that's just my appointment, and I was going to appoint you as Mayor Pro Tem. See, that's what you get for bringing it up.
I was talking like joint powers board.
No, Champ Powers right now, for at least for us, is Judy and I are on that, and
I didn't know if
I think there was something came up down
they
there.
changed the date of that next meeting, I thought, to where it could be after all the towns had their initial
Yeah, it's
January
the
meeting, so you could
Yeah,
bring
it's the 21st
voting members.
Yeah, and I see no reason to change voting members. I know something came up for the fact that sometimes not all the voting members can get there, and there was something that was going to change in the bylaws, so somebody could fill in for that. But,
I think they determined that it was already in the bylaws, that all they need is something from the entity saying
Saying that some-
it's a lot.
it's okay for them.
They're
Our,
okay with it, right?
we have something on the books that says it's okay.
but you go to Douglas every morning. I'd be happy to give you my seat.
I don't know that I could take that seat.
Okay.
I mean, I would, but I don't know. I think that's a pretty major conflict of interest for me.
I was gonna say,
How about
we already
everybody that's
have
on
a
our board?
position.
What's that?
If was our on that board, darn a conflict of interest.
Well, true.
But right now, I'm just going to stick with those two on that board. That's basically the only board, and the only other one is I may change our representative to the FSA board. I'm the representative for that right now, but I may change that shortly. So, but we'll go from there. But I am going to appoint you as Mayor Pro Tem.
Am I
It does
supposed
not have to be-
thankful or
No.
clap, or what am I supposed to do here?
You get to run things if I'm not here.
Okay.
That's how that goes.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? I don't think we have any other boards that right now that we appoint to. So if there's nothing else to come before this meeting, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.